My parents forced me into a parental role at 13. I was mama to 6 kids while they vacationed. Now CPS arrived and I let their perfect image burn. I started raising my siblings when I was 13. Mom would hand me the baby and say, "You're so mature for your age." Then they'd leave for another weekend trip. At first I thought it was normal. Big sisters help out, right? Extended family does this all the time. Mom told me that in good families, the oldest daughter raises the younger kids, so parents can focus on what really matters. I believed her because what else did I know? But it became everything. I handled the midnight feedings, the diaper changes, the potty training, school lunches packed at 6 a.m., doctor appointments scheduled around my classes, bedtime stories read in different voices until my throat hurt. My parents would walk past crying babies like they were furniture. At restaurants, I managed 6 kids at one table while they sat at a separate table for 2, drinking wine and laughing. I missed so much school that teachers started calling. My parents told them I had anxiety and they were working on it. They'd show up to one parent-teacher conference, play concerned, then disappear for another month. Meanwhile, they were at wine tastings in Napa, beach resorts in Cabo, music festivals in Austin. Their Instagram looked like a travel magazine. My life looked like a daycare center run by a teenager. The worst part was the isolation. I couldn't have friends over because I was always watching someone. Couldn't join clubs because who would pick up the kids from school? Couldn't go to dances because Saturday nights meant bath time for 6. My childhood disappeared one responsibility at a time, and everyone thought my parents were saints for having such a big family. Last month, everything changed. My youngest brother Tommy fell off his bike and split his lip open. Blood was pouring down his chin, soaking his shirt. He was screaming and the other kids were panicking. I called my parents straight to voicemail. Called again, still voicemail. Called 5 more times, nothing. They were on a cruise with no cell service, living their best life while I held a bleeding 6-year-old. I grabbed my babysitting money, loaded all 6 kids into our neighbor's van, and begged her to drive us to urgent care. In the waiting room, I tried to stay calm while Tommy sobbed into my shoulder, and my other siblings asked if he was going to die. I felt like I was drowning. The nurse called us back and immediately asked where our parents were. I lied and said they were parking the car. She looked at me holding a bloody child with 5 other kids clustered around my chair and clearly didn't believe me. She started asking more questions. How old are you? Who's your guardian? Where do you live? I panicked and gave her my neighbor's number, said she was my aunt. Mrs. Chen came back confused. The nurse pulled her aside and I watched them talk through the window. Mrs. Chen's face changing from confusion to horror. When she came back in, she looked at me differently, like she was really seeing me for the first time. Later, while Tommy got stitches, she sat with the other kids. She asked them questions. Who makes breakfast? Who helps with homework? Who tucks you in at night? They all pointed at me. My 8-year-old brother said, "She's basically our mom." Mrs. Chen's eyes filled with tears. She made one phone call that night, just one. CPS showed up at our house the next day. My parents rushed home from their cruise, furious about the interruption. They posted Instagram stories about a family emergency that cut their vacation short. In person, they played devastated parents perfectly. Tears, trembling voices, the whole performance. They told the social worker I was controlling, that I wouldn't let them parent, that I'd somehow convinced the kids they were bad parents. My mom said they'd been trying to get me into therapy for my boundary issues. She made it sound like I was the problem, like I'd stolen their children's love out of spite. Then the social worker asked to see the kids' rooms. The color drained from my parents' faces. They tried to redirect, saying it wasn't necessary, but she insisted. We walked upstairs and she opened door after door. Pristine guest rooms with white furniture and decorative pillows, a home office, a craft room that had never been used. Finally, my room. All 6 of us shared it. 3 bunk beds crammed against the walls, my twin mattress shoved in the corner, clothes in laundry baskets because there wasn't enough closet space, toys scattered everywhere because it was the only place they had to play. The social worker's expression hardened. She started taking pictures. She asked my siblings questions. My 8-year-old brother said I made him breakfast every day. My 10-year-old sister said I was the one who taught her to read. My 5-year-old twin said I was the only one who knew they were scared of the dark. Each answer was a nail in my parents' coffin. Then she found my calendar on the wall. Every doctor appointment, every school event, every permission slip deadline written in my handwriting. She found the medication chart I'd made to track everyone's vitamins and prescriptions. She found 3 years of permission slips with forged signatures because my parents were never around to sign them. My mom tried explaining it away as me being overly helpful, painting it as a sweet sister who went too far. But my 6-year-old sister, the one I'd rocked to sleep every night since she was born, looked right at the social worker and said exactly what I'd never been brave enough to say. Our real mama takes care of us because they're always gone on trips. My parents stood frozen as CPS took notes on every word, watching their perfect parent act burn down in real time.